so it is called a glass. Now this is a round glass. It's a round glass. It's a circle on the top, and that makes it round. And because it's a glass, it is a round glass. And it's called a glass because it's made out of glass. And you can put things in this glass. Right now there's nothing in the glass, so it is an empty glass because there's nothing in the glass, so we call it an empty glass. And so, if we want to put something in this glass, we can, but the glass has to be facing with its open end up. A glass like this cannot put something into it because this is the bottom of the glass, and this is the top of the glass. The top of the glass is the round part of the glass, where you can put something in the glass. The bottom part of the glass is not round, and it is not open, and you cannot put something in the glass from the bottom. You can blow into the glass, and the glass will trap the air into it and blow it back out. And that's because this is the top of the glass. Because the glass is round at the top and is open, and you can put something in the glass. But you can't do it from the bottom of the glass, and you can't put anything in the glass because it is not opened. But the top of the glass is open, and it is round, and it is made out of glass, and you can put something in the glass. And we're going to put something in the glass. Right now there's nothing in the glass. I guess, well, there's oxygen in the glass, but that's because there's air in the glass and nothing else but air inside of the glass. Now this is made of glass, and it's also called a glass, and so that's why you can say that there's nothing in the glass, because there's only air in the glass. And when there's only air in something, we say that there's nothing in there, because it is understood that air in the glass means nothing else is in the glass, so that means we say there's nothing in the glass. And so if you want to put something in the glass, you have to hold the glass up like this, where the open part of the glass is up, so that you can put something in it, because you can't put something in it if the bottom of the glass is up. Then it will fall out on the sides because there's nothing for it to go through to be inside of. But now that the glass is up, we can put something in the glass. Now there's already air in the glass, but we can put something else in the glass, because when there's air in the glass, we say that there's nothing in the glass, even though there's oxygen in the glass and atoms and little air molecules and probably bacteria. But because we can't see it, then we say there's nothing in the glass, and the glass is empty. So, if we want to put something in the glass, what we can do is find something to put in the glass. Now it can be anything, but the most common is water. Now to get water in the glass, you need to get water first. And you can have water from a tap. You can have water from a jug, or you can have water from another glass. Now you'll need to get someone else to pour the water from this glass into this glass, because you don't know how to do that yet, so you'll need someone else to do that. But right now I had someone else put the water into this glass, so now I can teach you to put this water into this glass. Now, if we want to put water into this glass, we need to make sure that there's nothing else in the glass. And as we've stated, there's only air in the glass, which means there's nothing in the glass. And it means that the glass is empty. So, if we want to put water inside of this glass, we need to first have a glass with water inside of it already. Now, there is water inside of this glass, and there's a little bit of air, but because there's also water in the glass, this glass is full, and this glass has something in it. Now, this glass, if we want this water inside the other glass, we need to have both glasses. And what we will need to do is put this glass and tilt it slightly so that the water inside the glass will pour into the other glass. Now to do this, we need to have both glasses in our hands. So this is the glass that's empty, and this is the glass that has water inside of it. Now if we want water to go in this glass, we need to put water from this glass into this glass. So what we can do is pour the glass slightly from the end that is open. Now this end is not circular, it is octagonal. But it still is open, which is all we need. We wouldn't be able to pour water from the bottom of this glass because the bottom is not open. So we'll pour water from this glass into this glass by tilting it slightly like so. Now this glass is now full and it has water inside of it. Now it still has air at the top, but because it has water from the bottom to right here, we say that this glass is full. Because now there's more than just air inside of it. There is also water. Now when there's water inside of this glass, what we can do is if we want to, we can put it back into this glass. Now, because this glass is empty, now we can pour more water back into this glass. Because it only has air in it now. It has a little bit of water, but it doesn't have enough water for us to say that it's full. We actually say that it's empty because there is practically no water and there is mostly air in it. Now what we can do with this glass is we can pour out a little bit, or what we like to do most of the time is drink from it. And we do something similar where we pour from the top of the lid or the top of the glass slightly to allow the water to fall, but instead of it falling into a glass, it's falling into our mouth, which acts like a glass until we swallow. Now, we can wait and we can drink this whole glass until it's empty and we need to refill it. Or we can set it down because we're quenched. Our thirst has been quenched. And it is okay to set this glass down until we need to drink it later. So I'll show you what that is like. Now, when I get thirsty and when I want water, I can now take that glass and take a sip to now help that thirst and quench it. And then I can set the glass back down for another time where I am thirsty again. Now, while I wait to get thirsty and show you how to drink from the glass again, I want to put on a hat because it's really hot outside and the sun is beaming on me and I want to protect this beautiful merchandise. So, what I have to do is if I want to put a hat on, I have to have a hat. And so I have found a hat right here, one of my favorite hats, one of the hats that has the most meaning to me. And I can hang it right this. I can hold it like this. I can hold it like this. I can even hold it like this. But what I want to do is put the hat on. Now how I do that is I take this front part, which is called the bill. This part can't bend very easily. This part can. It can go up and down. It is very malleable. But this part has been hardened, and it is a little more difficult. You can hear that it's hardened when I tap on it. bit wider or make it a little bit shorter. And what that will do is make the hat tighter or looser. But first what we can do is we can put the hat on, and all you do is you sit it on your head and press it down to where it feels nice and snug. Now, as I said, if it's too tight, it'll start to hurt, and what you can do is you can loosen it from the back. But if it's also too loose, what you'll feel is it's not very snug, so you can tighten it from the back. Now, when I put this on, it actually feels quite nice, but this is because I've worn the hat before, so I've tightened it and loosened it to my desire. But this is because I've worn this hat before, and I've worn it before because this hat has a lot of meaning to me, and it's one of my favorite hats. Now, going back to the first task, my mouth is a little dry, and I could use a drink, so I can take this glass, which is full of water, and I can tilt it slightly on this open part. I can't drink from this bottom part because it is closed and it is solid, but I can tilt it slightly from the top and take a drink. And if I want to, I can take multiple, but that was good. That made me feel great. So I can set this back down on top of the table and wait for if I need it later. Now back to the hat. If the hat is okay and it feels nice and snug, you don't need to adjust it from the back. You can leave it as it is. And this top part, which is called the bill, which is not a bill that you can use for currency. You cannot go to Target with this bill to get anything from Target. You could, however, trade the bill for something of meaning if someone else wants the bill more than you. So, when I put on this hat, I have to make sure that this part is being over my face so that there's a shadow over my face, because I need to protect this merchandise. And when there's a shadow over my face, the sun won't be hitting my face directly, and there'll actually be a shadow that protects me. Now, you have to remember not to wear your hat like this, because this protects your neck, and this is not cool. Everyone who did this in high school wasn't cool, and this does not make you better than everyone else if you do it like this. Notice how I tap the back like this, how you can't even hear it because the bill is so far away. Now remember, this bill is not a bill you can use to buy anything. It's a bill like a duck, but not like a bird, like a duck. Now remember, the correct way to wear it is like this. There are a few people who can get away by wearing it like this, but these people are leagues ahead of you, so I wouldn't try it on your first try. This is the correct way to wear a hat. Now make sure you wear a hat that you like and that fits and that has a good meaning to you, or else you won't enjoy wearing the hat. And then if you take it off, you can just take it off by grabbing the bill and pulling it off. You don't need to adjust it after it feels snug. Once it feels nice and snug and it's not hurting you, or it's not too loose, you don't need to adjust it anymore until it feels too snug or too loose. And when you're done with that, you can place it anywhere where you might find it again. Or if you're like me, you just place it somewhere random so that when you want to find it, you can never find it. Now, it looks like I'm thirsty again, so I will take another sip. Now, the next thing I would like to show you is how to sleeve a magic card, or any card that you like and would like to keep. Really nice. So what I have here is I have many cards that I like and that I think are beautiful and that I would like to keep. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. Now I like these cards and I think they're beautiful, yet I should choose the ones I really like so I don't spend too much money on sleeves. most pretty and which ones you'd like to keep looking nice, and you can look through and decide which ones you want. Now, a good rule of thumb is that ones you have duplicates of, case in point, these two are the same card, they have the same function, they do the exact same job in the game, but one of them is normal and one of them is foil, which means it has this holographic little rainbow look on top. Now, because it's holographic, it's a little bit nicer and it's a little bit different, and this basic one is just a little bit less nice and a little bit less different. So what I'm going to do is choose this one because it looks a little bit nicer and it looks a little bit different, and I'm going to put this one in the sleeve. Now you can choose what you want. If you prefer the other card, you don't have to choose this card. If you prefer the other card, if you prefer the other card, you don't have to choose this card. So let's say I choose this card. Now, my choice is, if you have multiple sleeves, you can choose which sleeve you want. Now, you can't sleeve a card if you don't have a card, and you can't sleeve a card if you don't have a sleeve. So remember, you need both a card and a sleeve to be able to sleeve a card. Now, I have multiple sleeves to choose from. I have this matte sleeve, which has a matte front, which means it's not glossy, and it's actually matte, and it has a pink back. Now, I don't think that the pink works well with the green, so I'm not going to choose this sleeve. But if you think the pink works well with the green, you can choose this sleeve. You can choose this sleeve because if it's your sleeve, you can put whatever sleeve you want on the card that you want. As long as you have a sleeve, because you have to have a sleeve to put the card in a sleeve, and you have to have a card to put the card in the sleeve. Another thing I can do is I have the other sleeve that is also matte, and this means that it's not glossy and that it's actually matte. Now, I don't mind the matte, but on the back it's blue, and I don't mind the blue either. I think the blue works well with the green, but I actually have a sleeve that I prefer more than this, so I'm not going to choose this sleeve. But if you prefer this sleeve, you can choose this sleeve because it's your sleeve to put whatever card you want into your sleeve. Another choice I have this glossy front, which means it's not matte. The other two are matte, and this is glossy, which means the other two were not glossy. So this one has a purple backing that you can see, and it also has a front that is purple as well. But the purple is deceptive because there's a clear sleeve in front. Now, if you look at it, you can open it, and there's a clear sleeve in the front with a purple backing, and there's also a back that is purple as well. Now, I don't like this purple backing with the green. I think it clashes, but if you like the purple backing with the green and don't think it clashes, you can put this green sleeve inside of the purple sleeve, okay? Because that is your choice, and it's your sleeve, your choice. So, the sleeve I am choosing is this black sleeve, and it has a glossy front, and the last one was glossy, but the first two were not glossy. The first two were matte, which means that they don't have a glossy front, they have a matte front. But I'm going to choose this because I like the glossy front, especially with the holographic foil version. I think the glossy front works well, but if you don't think that the glossy front works well, you can put whatever you want in whatever card you want in your sleeve, and you can use whatever sleeve you want because it's your sleeve, your choice. But I like the glossy front, and I like the black backing. Now remember, this sleeve has a clear front sleeve, and the black is in the back. It's not in the front. So here's what I'm going to do. You can take the sleeve and you can open it slightly. Now you have to open it from the end that opens. Like the glass, the bottom doesn't open. And so you can't put the sleeve glossy, it actually allows this hollow look and the rainbow look on it. If the sleeve was matte, it wouldn't allow this. Now, if you prefer the sleeve to be matte so it doesn't do this, that is your choice, and that is okay. Or if all you have is matte sleeve and you don't have glossy sleeves, then that is totally okay. But yes, you can't see the back of the card because the back of the sleeve is black, but the front of the sleeve is clear with a black backing. And that is how you put a card in a sleeve.